looking soggy and pale, in the foyer, with the curly-haired and perfectly dry Jane in tow. "What's wrong?" asked both Ada and Mary of each other at once. "I'm fine," said Mary. "Our carriage had a bit of a start. Well, a stop would be more accurate. But what about you? You look a shambles. How did you get so sooty?" Ada was still wide-eyed and flustered. "Mary Somerville, in my house, behind that door, trapped with Allegra." Mary knew that when Ada began to chop up her sentences, she was feeling overwhelmed. "Dear Ada, do calm down. Now, are you saying that Allegra has trapped some woman behind the door, and we are to set her free?" No, it's Mary Somerville. She's the smartest person in England. She's the smartest person in the whole world." Ada's words were racing. "Honestly, she's so clever they had to invent a new word for it." "What word?" asked Mary. "Scientist," Ada babbled excitedly. "They used to say men of science until she came along, and I have her book. Well, I have several of her books, the ones she's written, but I mean Mr. Babbage's book. Well, he didn't write it. Trithemius wrote it 327 years ago, but Mary Somerville wrote in it, and I read her notes, and there are things I don't understand. It's probably the best thing that's ever happened." "Oh, well then, that's good. I must say, you don't look like it's the best thing that ever happened." "Good grief," said Ada, remembering. "Mary Somerville is stranded in that room with my sister." "Well," replied Mary, "Allegra is very entertaining. Come now, there's no need to keep Mrs. Somerville waiting. I'll be in shortly. You'll be perfectly fine, I promise." Mary gave Ada the slightest push as the door opened, then returned to the task of removing her cape and bonnet and trying to dry off. Ada stepped through the parlour doorway to see Mrs. Somerville patiently nodding as Allegra prattled on about her various circus talents. "I do apologise, Mrs. Somerville," Ada began. "My dear girl, think nothing of it. I know this is your house, but please, do come sit down," said Mrs. Somerville kindly. Ada sat beside Allegra, and this caused the younger girl to bend herself into a more ladylike position. "It's just that Mr. Babbage lent me this book," continued Ada, handing the small brown volume to Mrs. Somerville, noting that it matched her dress. "You wrote in the margins, Steganographia by Johannes Trithemius, 1499, an old favourite. Yes, Mr. Babbage lent me this years ago, after I'd misplaced my copy, and I'm afraid I went a bit mad with annotations." She looked toward the door as Mary and Jane entered, and she rose to greet them. "Mrs. Somerville, hello. I'm Mary Godwin, and please allow me to introduce you to my stepsister Jane. Lady Ada speaks most highly of you." "Why, you rise like a gentleman," exclaimed Jane, as though civilization were at stake. "Miss Jane, I find that at a certain age one may adopt one's own manner," Mrs. Somerville stated plainly. "Have you grandchildren?" asked Allegra out of nowhere. The three other girls shot Allegra a look. Jane in particular was mortified. Mrs. Somerville laughed. "Goodness, no. Surely I'm not as ancient as all that, although I must confess I look forward to being old and crotchety." She leaned forward in a conspiratorial whisper. "Then I'll be able to get away with anything." And she winked. The girls couldn't help but laugh. Anna brought in tea, and they all had a cup and a biscuit, allowing Anna to withdraw before getting down to things. "Now," said Mrs. Somerville, "I suppose you're all wondering why I've called you here." "I'm supposed to say that," said Ada, "at the end." "That is precisely the point, Lady Ada, and thank you," said Mrs. Somerville. "I assume that you four young ladies comprise the Wollstonecraft Detective Agency?" "No," said Ada and Mary, at the same time Allegra and Jane were saying, "Yes." "Well, I'll leave you to sort that out, but I have need of some clear thinking, and Mr. Babbage tells me you're the second cleverest girl in all of England." "Second cleverest?" began Ada. "Who? Ada's terribly clever," interrupted Allegra. "But Lady Ada tells me you're the smartest woman in England," queried Mary.